a man has been found dead.
Oh no, what happened?
So, as we both know, Boeing is in a lot of turmoil, a lot of shit, as someone would say.
Yeah, no, they are. They definitely are.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Boeing, I don't know how you don't know this at this point, but Boeing has been embroiled in scandal after scandal where their planes are falling out of the sky. Well, not falling out of the sky, but like pieces of them are at least.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all coming down to the safety or lack thereof when it comes to their planes.
Yeah, no, definitely. The biggest one made national news. The door flying off,
Or
or
the-
a piece of the plane, not the
The
door.
wheel fell off.
Yeah, the wheel fell off.
recently.
The door, or not the door, a piece of the plane that looked like the
I think
door.
one of the engines blew up or was leaking. Anyways,
Crazy.
a lot of stuff has been happening. But how does this relate to a dead man at a hotel parking lot? And it's because this man was a whistleblower. He was a safety inspector for Boeing. And he, in I think 2017, raised an alarm that said, effectively, these people are going to kill people.
Oh my god, that's
He-
insane. I didn't know he was a safety inspector.
Yeah, so what had happened was he was the safety inspector or an inspector at Boeing, but he wasn't working on the Dreamliners or the 737s.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
working on a different Boeing aircraft. But, I mean, you can infer that if they're doing it with one aircraft,
They're doing it probably on other aircraft.
on probably other aircraft. So he worked on the Boeing 787 Dreamliners in Charleston, South Carolina, North Charleston, South Carolina assembly plant. So it's kind of wild, and we have additional stuff to talk about after you consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button. We come out with interesting videos like this one daily. So if you want to stay up to date with interesting topics like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So the crazy thing is that they're saying that this man committed suicide. And
It is a crazy the timing that they are saying.
Yes.
this.
the timing couldn't have been better for Boeing
Yeah.
because he was in the middle of his testimony in a trial against Boeing.
I also didn't know this either.
Yes,
Yeah.
so he was in the middle of his testimony against Boeing, and then all of a sudden he goes away for the weekend, and then bam, gone. And
That's crazy to even think about that. You know, it seems like there might be some foul play because honestly,
the
that's
internet is
yeah.
up in arms. They're like, what
Yeah,
is going
no,
on?
Yeah, the first thing you think of, okay, yeah, is Boeing, lots of problems, lots
Yes.
of things happening with the company itself. This guy worked on some of the planes, or he inspected some of the planes.
And he was a whistleblower, so he reported a specific issue, and his issue was that there was this one area of the plane where they had I guess it's like a nut, and it was like causing the wires to, like, it had like little pieces of sharp pieces that could cut wires,
Oh my god!
and if the wires got cut, they would cause the plane to crash.
There was tons of loose bolts within these planes, by the way.
Yeah,
So this is not shocking.
Not
but
shocking?
But this is also my first time hearing this too.
Oh, really?
On this bolt. Yeah. Or this nut that could cut like all these other wires. So it is first off, it's not surprising, which is a little worrisome.
Mm-hmm.
And also it is I don't know. It's if he had to give his testimony about something like this, about their quality, I could see why some people would not want him to be around.
Yeah. So obviously, since we're talking about his death, he was pronounced deceased at the scene of the crime. But they said from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So we're trying to wait right now to see what the exact
Like the coroner says or something.
yeah, but at this point it seems pretty straightforward what happened, but I guess he could have potentially done it himself, but the question is like why? Because
Yeah.
his lawyer is saying that uh, just prior to the trial or to this thing, he was very excited to provide
Evidence, yeah.
evidence, like
Or
to
his
continue,
testimony,
you know,
yeah.
his testimony, like to say like what, like to get it off his chest, to go and like make sure that Boeing gets like, you know, becomes accountable for their actions and or lack thereof, I guess, if they're
Yeah.
not producing the planes like correctly. So he had said he would not fly on one of their jets.
Really?
Yeah, he would not feel safe to fly on one of these jets because of all the lack of safety that Boeing was doing. And the more that we hear about this, like the wheels falling off. Recently, I read an article about how they're using like what is it? Dish soap to lube up the door
Really?
seals.
Oh my god. I didn't know this.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, what?
They're
And there's other crazy things that, you know, like mysterious things that have been happening too, where the footage of like, or like the record of the person who installed that door that flew off mysteriously vanished. They still don't know who did it.
Really?
They just still don't know who installed the damn thing. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know?
How don't you know? Because
It should just be written down.
Yes, I feel like that would be like something that important to write down. It's like who worked on this plane and when.
So, yeah, the testimony would have been scathing because additional things that he had to say and that he's reported before, because he came out to the Times in 2019 saying that there were other issues with Boeing. And during that time, he said that during his time there, he saw that there were defective parts that were missing. That were unaccounted for. So they're like, where would it be? And it's like, the only assumption would be that these defective or unusable parts were placed onto an airplane.
You think about it like this: what if they just threw them on the floor,
Just threw them away.
like the bolts and everything else?
They half tightened them, which is wild because before all of this happened, Boeing couldn't get planes out the door fast enough. And that is why we believe and why he believed there were shortcuts being taken.
Yeah, because they had first off, they stalled in demand because of 2020 and
but
everything
then
that happened. But then after there was a pickup, and then there was a demand for planes. Lots of people ordering these planes. So I could see how a company would go through and take shortcuts to essentially put these planes out, but like many of you know, many of you have heard, lots of problems, especially with the Boeing 737 Maxes, lots of issues, lots of things happening. This is just another instance where I think that having someone come out and say something about Boeing's quality would have been pretty good to hear. I think in general that they really need to manage their quality control because
No,
no,
it's not that. I think the people who do the quality control like him wanted to do things right.
Yeah.
But it's the people above that are pushing things down the road and saying it's fine.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
A quote from him is that over the years, it's just been a steady pecking away at quality. At Boeing, Mr. Barnett, the person, the quality control manager, was saying that this is not a 737 problem. It's a Boeing problem.
No, that hits hard.
Yeah, it's not the plane. The plane themselves are probably fine. It's the fact that Boeing themselves apparently is pushing that's fine. So when I said that the missing parts, the parts are missing, and then he said that the management told him to create a report without finding where the parts went.
Oh, that's crazy.
He just made the report that the parts were missing, but there was never an investigation of where the parts went. So it's like, okay, great. And he said that he hasn't seen a single plane that left Charleston yet that he would put his name on, saying it's safe and airworthy,
That's crazy.
which is wild. Not one,
Yeah, that's
not
crazy.
a
That's
single
scary.
one.
That's scary to think about. Yeah.
He couldn't. So the thing is that the last little piece is that he apparently was dealing with PTSD and like a lot of stress involving this and like guilt because of all the things that
That were happening.
And he said that like basically if something were to happen, it would be kind of on him because he allowed this plane.
Yeah, he's the one like that was
Ultimately,
saying,
he said that this is plane's.
he was part of the situation at hand, even though he probably was saying it's like
He was
hey,
like forced his hand to like let it go, but
yeah,
but it's still kind of on him. But you know, it is a very, very wild and very suspicious story and very tragic
it is
because
yeah.
I think that you know his testimony would have definitely helped with the trial, like and provide additional information that we would want to know about. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. What are your theories about what happened? And do you think that this was like, for a second, why would they even think this was a smart idea? Like if it was an actual person that went to go and like make it seem like it was like self-inflicted. Like the whole thing is that there's like the Streisand effect where now because this whole thing happened, now there's more eyes on it. There's more people looking into it. There's more like news on it, making it like more of a thing than it was before, you know?
I do agree there's more people now looking at it.
And like not just looking at it like in detail because of like the circumstances. So yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.